Hello, it's Sonia here, The Pretty Stitch. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time joining me, I'm so happy to have you here. So today is Tuesday, and that means it's Tunisian Tuesday. So we are going to be doing a stitch pattern today, and I'm going to be using my J hook or 6mm hook and just some number 4 yarn here. And this stitch pattern would work with a variety of hooks and yarn types. So I am going to get my slip knot going here. So to do this stitch, you're going to work a multiple of 2. So I am going to chain 14. Okay, so I have my 14 chains here. And we are going to be working in the back bump of our chain. So in our second chain from our hook, we are going to pull up a loop. And if you've never done Tunisian crochet before, I have a whole playlist that goes over the basics. So I'm just working in this back loop, pulling up my loops. In Tunisian crochet is always worked in 2 parts. So your first part of your row, you're putting your stitches on your hook, and your second part, you are taking them off. So I'm going to keep going, pulling up my loops, and I'll meet you back. Okay, so I have my 14 loops on my hook. So this is, as I said before, the first part of our row, and we're going to do the second part. So for row 2, we're going to yarn over, or row 1, I'm sorry, we're still in row 1, our second part of our row. So we're going to yarn over, pull through 1 loop, and yarn over, pull through 2 for the rest of the row. Okay, so there's row 1. So row 1 is our setup row for this stitch pattern. So row 2 is going to be the start of the repeat. So we're going to be working in simple stitch. So we are going to be working a decrease stitch. So we're going to work Tunisian simple decrease. So we're going to insert our hook into those first 2 bars, and we're going to work that simple stitch. And we're going to do that all the way across. So obviously, since we're doing this, we are going to have less loops on our hook, but we will be putting them back on. And now we're at our last stitch. So it looks like a chain there. We're going to insert our hook in that chain and pull up our loop. So now we have 8 loops on our hook, but we will want to get back to our 14. So what we're going to do to work the second part of row 2, it's going to be a little bit different than traditional return pass. So we're going to yarn over, pull through 1 for the first stitch, yarn over, pull through 2, and then we are going to chain 1. And now we're going to yarn over and pull through 2. So we're going to chain 1 again, pull through 2 for the rest of the row. So we're actually putting stitches back on. And we're at the end, we're still going to chain 1 and pull through 2. So that is row 2. Okay, so let's begin row 3. So row 3, what we're going to do is, so now you can see that chain we worked. We're going to insert our hook in that chain, pull up a loop, and we're going to insert our hook working Tunisian simple in that next vertical bar, pull up a loop. So we've already added some stitches. We're going to do that again. Go in the chain, and then in simple stitch in that next vertical bar. And we're going to do that across. So there we go. So let's count to make sure we have enough. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we need to work that last stitch, stitch 14. So right there is that chain. We insert our hook in both loops there of that chain, pull up our loops. So now we're back to our 14 stitches, what we want. So now we're going to just work these off like normal regular return pass. So we're going to chain 1 or yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2 for the rest of the row. Okay, so there we go. And what you're going to want to do is repeat rows 2 and 3 for however long you want your swatch. And then you would just work a normal bind off row. So here I have another swatch that I made of this stitch pattern, and I will show you how to bind this off, which would be very simple. So we're just going to bind off in Tunisian simple. So you would work as many rows as you would want. Repeating rows 2 and 3, and then you want to end on a row 3. So for your bind off, you just insert your hook in that first vertical bar, and then in the next one, and just keep going, working a normal Tunisian crochet bind off in simple stitch. So this is a pretty easy stitch pattern, and I think it would look nice in a variety of projects. It does curl a little bit, so you can see it definitely is a curler, but that's kind of typical for Tunisian crochet. It just tends to curl a lot unless you're going to add some purl stitches. So let's say you wanted to use this stitch in a blanket or something, then you might want to have as your border some Tunisian purl stitches to kind of help with the curling. Or you could also, let's say, do maybe 10 rows of this stitch pattern and then do 10 rows of just purl stitch. That would also help with the curling. So purl stitches definitely help in the battle of the curling with Tunisian crochet. But I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you did, please like and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.